Here we go. Look at that. That is nice. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps out a lot. It doesn't cost anything. It'll just give you a notification when I release a new video. Well, today, I'm at the site of an early Midwest riverboat settlement. This place saw all kinds of activity in the 1870s and 1880s. I was told there was even a military camp nearby. I've got permission to excavate the grounds in search of artifacts, so we'll take a walk around and see what's going on. It is very overgrown back here. There is this mound at the bottom of this embankment. I believe this is all coal ash and trash left over from the businesses that stood up the hill. Looks like a gopher tunneled in here. You can see some fragments, definite soil disturbance down there, some different layers. What I'm gonna do is open this up, dig it to bottom, and hope for the best. The ground's a bit frozen this morning, but got a couple pieces here. I've been clearing along this wall, and got a good few bottles, maybe a crock or a jug exposed. There we go. Look at that, Hood sarsaparilla. I've dug many of these over the years. C.I. Hood and Company, Lowell, Massachusetts. So there's embossing. It's got all 4 panels marked. These are always fun to find. Plenty of coal ash down here and bricks. This layer is kind of hard to work through, but it's producing very well, so I can't complain too much. Here we go. Omaha Bottling Company, Omaha, Nebraska. I must have shipped a ton of these over the river. I've dug a good few in this dump, plenty of broken pieces anyway. Roots have also been a nightmare. Here's that jug I've been working on. Not sure if it's intact, but it's looking good. Wow, that's in perfect condition. Look at that, an Albany slip glaze liquor jug. Not sure if there's any markings on the bottom. I don't see anything. It's got to be from the late 1800s. And all this coal ash, you'll see the red color. I believe that's from lignite coal. I think that was first mined sometime in the 1890s. I want to say 1895. That is unusual. This actually looks foreign. Some kind of a foreign wine bottle. Possibly. Looks like it might have an applied top, but they made things a bit cruder a bit later overseas. these roots. Here we go. Okay, we got a couple, 3 pieces. Okay, that one's broken. Another soda. Omaha Bottling Company, Omaha, Nebraska. It's got to be from around the turn of the century. Those are actually some of the more common, maybe the most common Nebraska sodas. That's something here. Turn in coal ash. This one could be good. Might be a bitters. Whoa. Heinous Distilling Company, full court, reuse of bottles prohibited. Mount Vernon Pure Rye Whiskey. Looks like a tooled top. It's got some embossing on bottom, but that's really faint. That's a really good looking piece. Might be one of the best whiskeys that's come out of this dump. Alright, it's like maybe another soda. Let's see here. Okay, Worcestershire sauce. That's Lee and Perrins. Tooled top. Yeah, it's got a date from the turn of the century. These are found all across the US. To give an idea of how loaded this dump is, this one was maybe an inch below the surface at best. It's like it was pointed down so that the bottle didn't fill with water and break in the cold. It's a nice pharmaceutical, probably laid there for well over 100 years. Just been working my way across this. It's like a thin trash layer up top, maybe a couple feet deep. You'll see just all this glass and ironstone. Found a few broken soda pieces. Plenty of coal. And plenty of rust. Here we go. Okay, it's an Ayers. Ayers Hair Vigor. See, it has Ayers on the bottom. It was produced by the JC Air Company. It was I believe a product that was supposed to halt graying hair. Here we go. Nothing home. Looks like a Blake style prescription bottle, likely 1870s or 80s. Plenty of rusty metal in here as well. Let's see. There's some of these roots. Try to keep my digging area clean so I can kind of see where I'm at. Let's see here. Here's a couple. What do we have here? Could be is it a soda or a prescription? It's kind of wedged in. That's a ground lip. That's kind of a cool piece. Some kind of a preserve jar. It's actually aqua. Usually I'll find these kind of jars in a clear or colorless glass. There might be some embossing on this thing. Huh. could get interesting. The top looks intact. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Got a Sanford's ink. Sanford's cone style ink with the top knocked off. And a JoJo style liquor flask. These were popular in the 1880s, I believe. Maybe into the 1890s. Oh, McLean's. Dr. McLean's Strengthening Cordial and Blood Purifier. I found a lot of these, or a good few, on saloon sites. Could be where the saloon was dumping. The layer keeps going. Looks like a prescription bottle. Fingers crossed. Nothing. Blank Philadelphia oval style. Get these roots out of the way here. Look at that. Forsyth Pharmacist. Masonic Block, Omaha, Nebraska. This is a very old bottle. It's likely early to mid 1880s. Alright, looks like a mineral water. Okay, it doesn't have anything on the bottom. Usually these will say Saxoners Bitter Quell. It was like a mineral water, laxative water, sold in the later part of the 1800s. Those bricks are hard to work around. Plenty of broken ironstone. Here we go. Pull some roots out of the way here. Oh, nice. Another one of these foreign wine type bottles. That has a really nice look. There's some groundwater in it. And another blank prescription. Almost looks like a Rex oval, but do I see any? Wow, so we found a few out here that look like they could be. Oh no, it's got an N and a circle on the bottom. It's hard to see. It's right there. It's the Nestor Glass Company. I believe they merged with Aubert sometime in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Go. Another JoJo style liquor flask. I used to find one of these with some local embossing on it. I think Omaha had one. Some more blank china. There we go. Another prescription bottle. This one is a Rex Opal. See Rex on the bottom there, circa 1905. Here's the haul. I concluded this is a trash dump used by the business district in the late 1800s into the very early 1900s. Got some very quality pieces here. Some food containers, patent medicines, sodas, 3 intact Hutchinson style examples, pharmaceutical, liquor jug, Worcestershire sauce, pickle bottle, toiletries, prescriptions, including that early one from Omaha. I think that's my favorite find here. Inks, liquor flasks, those 2 foreign alcoholic beverage containers. Well, there you have it. We'll get this thing filled back in. We got into a solid trash layer. There's all kinds of ashes. Looks like some ironstone fragments, plenty of rust, and broken windows. Let's see here. Looks like our first whole piece. Emerson Drug Company, Baltimore, Maryland, bromo seltzer. Yeah, I dig these all the time. That was in this really nice blue. And some ironstone. Severn. Never dug that before. Looks like it was the base to a water pitcher. And plenty of corroded metal. JoJo style liquor flask. These are popular in the late 1800s. P with a circle on the bottom. It must be for the glass company. Here's some of these regrets. There we go. Broken prescription bottle, or I don't know, some kind of patent medicine or a skin cream. What does this say? Arnicated Eureka cream. Never heard of it. Likely some kind of like skin moisturizer. Oh, that's cool. A little salt or pepper shaker. No markings on it, but I could almost say that's cut glass. That's really sharp. Oh, there we go. Tool top beer bottle. So this predates the pry-off caps. It's a cork top. Made by the Adolphus Busch Glass Manufacturing Company. I believe they later became Anheuser-Busch, or in relation to some degree. That looks like some kind of tool top pharmaceutical piece. Maybe a coat on the bottom. Can't make it out. No embossing, no other embossing on it. That's wild though. Everything here has got to be at least 120 years old, if not older. Here's a prescription. That's a wide mouth. What's up with this? Scudder's Canada Sap. Never heard of that one either. It's got to be from the late 1800s, early 1900s. Wonder if it had something to do with maple syrup. Huh. That seems like everything just in this very top layer here. Plenty of rust. Gray ash. Maybe some rusted cans here as well. Bricks. A broken drinking glass. Huh. That could have been interesting. A milk glass neck to a milk glass bottle. I'm working around this paint can. I've got a couple bottles nearly loose. Let's see here. Could be a, I think it's an old coffee pot, coffee kettle. And some pieces underneath it. Dr. King's New Discovery, Chicago, Illinois, H.E. Buckland and Company. That's a sample size patent medicine bottle. It's usually held Dr. King's New Discovery for consumption. He also had the coughs and colds. And a blank prescription. Oh, wait. Myers Dillon Drug Company, 16th and Farnham, Omaha, Nebraska. Never heard of one. I think that's an 1892 patent bottle. Let's see here. There we go. It's like a food bottle of some sort. Could be some kind of powder. Maybe we'll get a clue as to what it is here. MG Company. Could be the glass company or the company that made this product, sold it. There's a few pieces over here. An old beer bottle. A turn mold piece. Top broken off. Broken beer mug. Stuff is hard to dig through. Broken butter crock. Broken milk glass bitters type bottle. That could have been really good. Huh. Found a common style tumbler. You know what? Yeah, sometimes these are actually jelly jars repurposed into drinking glasses. I think that might be the case here. Crockery and glassware. Omaha, Nebraska. Samuel Burns, crockery and glassware, Omaha, Nebraska. It's actually backwards on there, so I suppose when you look down through it, it'll read right. I guess, yeah, maybe just a common style table tumbler of some sort. I thought it was a soda at first. Another common style table tumbler. Get these roots out of something else. Whoa. That's the biggest bottle top I've ever found. I believe they call it a demijohn. Would have been used for making wine. This was probably a 10-gallon piece. That is a crude top. Deep aqua. That would have been something to find whole. Isn't something they would have likely discarded though until it broke, especially during those times. And a lid, kind of jar lid of, yeah, nothing embossed on it. Maybe a broken mason jar. Broken ironstone, plain ironstone china. I thought this was going to be embossed. Is it? No. Blank Philadelphia oval style prescription bottle. NK Brown's aromatic essence, Jamaica ginger, Burlington, Vermont. It's not very often I dig anything from Vermont. Looks like a tool top piece. Dr. J.W. Bull's cough syrup. Might be an older one. I usually find these in like 1870s, 80s pits. Baltimore, Maryland, USA. A.G. Meyer and Company. So there's Bull's cough syrup. Baltimore, Maryland. A.G. or A.C. Meyer and Company. I think these are always tooled tops, the ones I found. So yeah, it's a tooled top patent medicine. Some kind of maybe zinc glazed piece, or Albany slip glaze, I think. Oh wow, that's awesome. A little tea kettle, probably to a child's tea set. And yeah, that's definitely Albany slip glazed. And a shoe fly style liquor flask. Blank. Turn of the century piece. Huh. And a blank, maybe a patent medicine of some sort. Not for sure this is going to be embossed. Tool top. And a little ironstone china saucer. Could be a butter pat. I think that's a bit thick, probably isn't to a child's tea set. Working my way through, seems like beyond this stuff here, there isn't much, but there's still some good layers up here. Another tool top prescription bottle. No increments on it. I don't think I've found an incremented one out here, which fits the time frame of the town. And another prescription, blank, probably 120 years old. It's been hard to dig through some of this stuff. It's so hard packed. Tree root. There we go, a milk glass stopper. Might be to that broken milk glass bitters bottle I found. Looks like a pressed glass piece of some sort. So there's the top. It's a strange bottle, probably foreign. Definitely haven't dug one of these before. Amazing how much glass is just stacked up on top here. And a broken beer mug. It's like the piece fell, handle broke off, chipped the top, likely a pressed glass piece. Some tree roots and that hard packed ground. It keeps going beyond this, but there just isn't much in those layers. It gets earlier though, I'll give it that. Although this isn't bad age either. Tool top, guessing a food product, could be a mustard jar. I guess it could be a toiletry as well. There we go. Saw the top sticking out earlier. Wasn't sure if it was intact or not, but it looks mint. Omaha Bottling Company, Omaha, Nebraska. That's not too bad. These sodas are so cool. Really thick glass. They were actually recycled often. Back in the day, folks would pay glass companies for the return of soda beer bottles, and then just crush them up to make new ones. That's why these are so hard to find. And here's one just sticking out here, tooled top prescription bottle. It looks like some kind of cold cream ointment pot. Well, here we go, we'll find out. Libby and Libby. Oh, Chicago. McNally and Libby. Libby, McNally and Libby, Chicago. Some kind of cold cream. I'm guessing some kind of skin cream toiletry. This layer just keeps on giving. Looks like here's a prescription. Blank under kind of looks like a Rex Oval. One of these LED companies. Find those all the time. No one knows what the LED stands for. What is this? Some kind of serving tray? Hotel. Well, that's definitely an indicator. Digging behind where the hotel was, so I always love those confirmation pieces. That explains the sodas as well. They usually had saloons running connection with them. Here's a for consumption. Hazeltine and Company. Piso's Cure. So it's an aqua. These will sometimes come in green. They're a really cool looking bottle. This was actually a cannabis-based medication. And a little so a Blake style. It's a newer Blake style though. Probably around the turn of the century. See what kind of so it's an S and a diamond on the bottom. Maybe Swindell Glass Company, but I can't say for sure. And a blank shoe fly style liquor flask. There's everywhere in here. Sherman and McConnell Drug Company, Omaha, Nebraska. That's an 1892 patent bottle. All of these, but I gotta dig down here and see because this layer might go a little further. There's definitely it's more coal down there. Another blank prescription bottle. RD Company on the bottom, and no other embossing. One of broken ironstone china. Souders Elegant Flavoring Extracts. Royal Remedy and Extract Company, Dayton, Ohio. I've dug these before. I think it was marketed across the Midwest. That's where I usually find them. Looks like a little pharmaceutical type piece. chemical bottle, B on the bottom. It would have had a paper label on the side. Some broken food bottles. Some roots in the way over there. And looks like a bromo seltzer. Yeah, bromo seltzer, Emerson Drug Company, Baltimore, Maryland. These are always turn of the century era. Some kind of a maybe patent medicine food bottle. Hard to say for sure. It's a wider top, so if it is some kind of a pharmaceutical, could have been like a powder or a thicker substance. Got a couple pieces here. Sherman and McConnell, Family Chemists, Omaha. It's a tiny one, another 1892 patent. I think this was maybe a half-ounce size. Oh, and an ink, a cone ink. No embossing on this one. It's got a tooled top. Oh, and a little glass stopper. These had corks around them. Then these were pressed down into a bottle to seal it. Could have been to a Worcestershire sauce. Sometimes they're marked. This one isn't. Huh. That's really nice. Got a cool pattern. Looks like a family out on a dock of some sort. Maybe they're fishing. That's a semi-porcelain. That's really nice. Wonder if it has any markings. I don't see any markings on the back. Oh, this top layer is hard packed. Dig it down to this hard pan here, so I got some area to work. Some kind of a food bottle. I think it's a pickle bottle, tooled top. Fingers crossed. Looks like a liquor jug. Got plenty of roots dealing with here, and some hard packed ground. Here we go. Look at that. That is nice. No stamping on it. That's a Albany slip glaze piece, I believe. Oh, that is beautiful. A really nice finish. But there's just all kinds of stuff in these layers here. Plenty of coal. Looks like a prescription. Broken prescription. See here. This stuff is just wedged in, kind of intertwined with these bricks. Here you go, Dr. J.W. Bowles, cough syrup. Baltimore, Maryland, USA. A.G. Meyer and Company. So it's, I think the same embossing pattern as the other one. Nice long neck on these. Okay, so this one's wedged under this china. Some kind of a dinner platter, serving platter. There we go, a shoe fly style liquor flask. Got kind of a strange top on there, kind of concaved in. All these roots. I guess that's the downside of everything being so close to the surface. Broken beer mug. Might be a missing piece to that one I dug earlier. There's a little coffee creamer, I think, to a child's tea set, possibly. Ironstone china. Might have an intact plate here. Broken Omaha Bottling Company, Hutchinson Soda. Oh, almost intact. Any stamping on it? UAW? Possibly. See that stamp right there, a little green stamp. Not sure I've seen that before. Definitely a commercial type dinner plate. Another ironstone piece. And another creamer. You know, maybe this is just a creamer to a normal set, but it seems smaller. That's got to be to a child's tea set. And another. You know, whenever I find these pieces right next to each other, it's always interesting to think, you know, these were thrown out at the same time and they laid here next to each other for, well, in this case, 120 or more years. Here we go. Oh, that's an old one. Is it an applied top? That might be an applied top pickle bottle. Sometimes it seems like these bottles could have been repurposed and thrown out. It's got a ground lip also. That's an old one. Here we go. It's intact. Omaha Bottling Company, Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, it's always good finding a soda. Some more semi-porcelain pieces, broken coffee cups. And a cone style ink bottle. No embossing on this one. And another creamer type piece. This one's got to be pressed glass. This might be to an actual dining set of some sort. Another piece up in there. So, what's this? Benton Holiday and Company, Chicago. I believe that's shoe polish. I know I've dug at least one of these before. The name sounds familiar. That's the top layer. Let's see. Kind of broken pharmaceutical bottle. Livestock bones. And I believe this is a turn mold olive oil bottle. There's a lot more ashes towards this part of the dump site. There's no end in sight though. Hires improved root beer. Okay, so that's Hires. I think they're still in business today. Makes 5 gallons of a delicious drink. Manufactured by the Charles E. Hires Company, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's a 4-sided embossing. That's kind of cool. All these roots in the way. A little, what do we have here? Proto-nuclein. I've dug these before. I can't remember what it is. Definitely looks like a chemical or pharmaceutical. And another pharmaceutical type piece. St. Louis, Missouri. Rio Chemical Company. Huh, never dug one of those. It's embossed along the shoulder there. Oh, they're just falling out here. I'm amazed how much is in this thin layer up top. Philadelphia oval style prescription. A couple more. Oh, that one's broken. Another olive oil. Looks like an Eclipse style olive oil. Thought it was a turn mold at first, but it's a 2-piece mold with a tooled top. And a blank prescription. A blank Rex Oval style prescription. Some kind of I think another pharmaceutical type piece. No embossing. soft layer down here. Looks like it changes color a bit too. Roots. And a perfume. It's got a kind of swirl pattern on the bottom. It's got to be 120 years old. I wonder if this plate's intact. Looks good so far. Huh. That's a strange looking bottle. It's got a strange top. KG Company on the bottom. Actually looked like a super early piece at first with that kind of thin neck and wide top, but it's tooled anyway. A soap dish. Can't read the stamping on bottom. It's painted, kind of ironstone. And it's chipped. That's why it was discarded. Ironstone china plate. Looks like there's another Hutchinson bottle. Nice. Another Omaha Bottling Company, Omaha, Nebraska. Tooled top piece. That's okay, it's some coal. Yeah, there it is. This is something else. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with this site. It's producing both quality and quantity. Sam H. Farnsworth, Cumming Street, Omaha, Nebraska. It's got to be a 1880s or 90s piece. Broken serving platter. These have all been broken out here. Oh, it's got a lot of writing. 4-ounce Marchin's peroxide of hydrogen, Medicinal, New York. Embossing on the back. Nice tooled top piece. Some more. Okay, what's going on here? Mrs. Dinsmore's Cough and Croup balsam. Nothing else on it. Never dug one of these before. Looks to be a turn of the century piece. Might have a beer back there. another piece. Yeah, these are lodged in pretty good. Okay, that's just a top. Okay, and it's a broken, got maybe a soda or ginger ale. This little homeopathic vial came out though. I think it's machine blown. Broken sherry glass or something. A little shooter bottle, sample size whiskey, likely whiskey or brandy. Looks like a mineral water, maybe foreign. Let's see. Springs. Cold. Yampa Glenwood. Oh, Glenwood Springs, Colorado. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of one of these before. Might actually be the first Colorado bottle I've ever pulled out. Jeweled top piece. It's getting late. Might have to call it a day soon. That's a strange coffee cup. It's almost like the handle was put on lower than... Yeah, it is lower than I usually find them on these. That's nice. Oh, broken beer. And there we go. Oh, another one of these peroxide of hydrogen bottles. And some kind of, looks like a horseradish. That is very ornate. It's definitely a mark of the times. Look at that. It's got that detail up there on the shoulder. Here's the haul. I concluded this was a trash dump used by the town in the late 1800s into the early 1900s. Got some very quality pieces here. Definitely impressed. Beer, mineral water, those hydrogen peroxide containers, patent medicines, shoe polish, pharmaceuticals, olive oil, food bottles, inks, prescriptions, those Hutchinson bottles, root beer extract, ironstone china, that large demijohn top, liquor jug, the creamer, and liquor flasks. Well, there you have it. We'll get this pit filled back in.